Are you familiar with the agony of defeat? Like the guy in the sports clip, the ski jumper, he falls off. I might as well explain it. There's an '80s clip, very famous, of a ski jumper taking a nasty, nasty tumble off a ski jump, attempting to like Olympic ski jump, like just what you think. He's coming down, and at the end, he loses it and just gets tossed like a rag doll at the end of the ski jump. It's one of the most compelling and famous clips in all of sports history. And it used to be in the beginning of Why World of Sports every week. So you used to see it, and you hear the guy, and then the announcer who covers this too. I mean, he did his best, of course, but I mean, he's, whoa, baby, and all this stuff. It's like, it just kind of gives a little bit of, I don't want to say humor, but it makes it even more spectacular. So in case you don't know who this guy is or never seen this, I'm going to add some in this clip here. His name is Vinko Bogataj. Vinko Bogataj. And now this guy, earlier in the day, when they were doing their practice runs, he fell earlier in the day as well, but not off the end of the jump. He completed the jump, but there was some real bad weather. There was wind, poor visibility. It was snowing. They were actually all day, they were thinking about canceling that event. But because it's the '80s and people were more badass back then, they just plowed right ahead. That's how we did it back then. And when he made the jump, he actually fell in the practice run and just skidded all the way down the hill. It wasn't terrible, but it was concerning.
It sure happened.
Off too early. Holy cat, you see the wind on the tip of those skis? There he goes! Oh, that's a tough one, let me tell you. This is a dangerous hill.
Didn't stop Vinko. Didn't stop Vinko one bit. So now it's time for his turn to go up, do the ski, do his jump. And it's still bad weather. You'll see in the clip, it's snowy, and he goes down, and right at the end, I mean, think of how many times this guy's practiced this jump and practiced these movements, for Olympic ski jumping. And anything, I say this all the time, just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it can't happen the first time. So you got to be prepared for even the unknown. Now, was this guy prepared for this? Maybe a little bit, but how do you prepare for something like that? You really can't. You got to just go balls in and full force and just go with it. You got to roll with it and mean it. And that's what he did. And on that attempt, he falls off and he almost takes out. You can see some camera crew and spotters there at the end, whatever, different workers they had at the Olympics. They kind of duck. He's got skis flying, poles flying. Well, not poles, but you see skis, legs, arms flying. This guy's tumbling. It's a horrific scene. I mean, and especially back then, they thought this guy may have died. I mean, it was bad. It was very, very bad.
Complicating the situation for the competitors, the weather. The winds increased. The in-run became icier, forcing event officials to shorten the jump and avoid disaster. The stage was set for Vinko's final leap.
The youngster is inexperienced. He fell on his first jump.
A lot of speed in that track. Now, look out! Look at him go! Oh! Oh, baby.
What a terrible fall.
So the paramedics and crew all said when they went and assessed Mr. Bogataj, he was, he was conscious, this and that. He wanted to see if he was not injured enough. The guy wanted to see if he was healthy enough to basically go and try it again. But he didn't realize at that time, I think, that his leg was broken or his hip or something major. But his first instinct was, I want to go back and try it again.
Naturally, we tried to report right away what happened to someone, and the report we got was that he wanted to go back up and take another jump. He didn't think he was hurt. But the docs had no part of that, and they took him in the meat wagon down to the hospital, which was probably 10 miles away, and he called back and told everybody he was fine and he'd be back again.
But how could he return after a spill like that? For all who saw it, this fall represented the truest definition of the agony of defeat.
And that right there is the essence of living life. And it's, some people may call it stupid. Is it stupidity or is it living life? That's the choice I guess you have to make. And I bring this up because it just really stuck with me, because a couple months after that horrible fall, They had him, I should know what this is, but they had him at a sports awards show. They had him at some awards ceremony, and he was honored. And the first person that came up to him for an autograph was Muhammad Ali.
At the Wide World of Sports 20th anniversary, he received a standing ovation in a room filled with athletes such as Peggy Fleming and Muhammad Ali.
When I was told that I was being invited to ABC's Wide World of Sports 20th anniversary, I knew that I would not be invited if I weren't popular. But when I arrived and saw how many great athletes were there and how well they greeted me, well, I had never expected such a reaction. I was shocked.
So was that a failure? Was it a failure that he didn't win a medal or he didn't even land the jump, really? But no way can you call that a failure. No way can you call that a failure. I mean, the guy's got, what's the size of basketballs. And even besides all that goofy, manly stuff, I don't even want to use that metaphor. How about some of us just have a bigger passion to live? And some people, it's so easy to say, oh, well, he doesn't respect life. Oh, he don't care. How stupid. Well, the guy's an idiot, man. You could have killed yourself. I'm sure he knows. And every jump he's ever taken, he could have killed himself and broken his neck. And if you live life that way, you already are dead. Because if you're not living and pushing and doing things, you're just baseline living, And we see these people every day. And I fear I never want to become that person. I'd rather die trying something and living and pushing boundaries or even pushing myself. Not to the point of being reckless and careless, but to the point of not living. Okay, you want to live, you want to do things, because either way, that was a memorable night for that day for that guy. What if he would have got silver medal? Still would have been memorable in a better way. But you don't know. The fear of the unknown is what's always going to keep you from doing things and doing pushing and trying to achieve your goals, or at least even trying your goals. I mean, the last couple of days I've been down. I'll just let it out. I've been down. I've been having a hard time up here after my surgeries, just because I'm out of the game. I can't do quite the things I used to do. Before that, I was still kind of limited. I'm still kind of trying to find my way in this new stage of life I have going on here. But at some point, you just got to roll the tape, pour the coffee, and let it rip. At some point, you got to go up there and say, well, all right, today's the day it's snowing, and I practiced. You're going to let a little snow get in the way? Because to me, that's not the agony of defeat. The agony of defeat is giving up and never trying. I don't think that guy's defeated. I wouldn't call him defeated. Would you? Comment underneath if defeated or undefeated. I say undefeated. That guy is undefeated because he got over the fear. Who cares what place he came in? That's irrelevant. In his world, in his life, all that mattered is him giving his best effort and him just going for it. And he did it that day. And I think the agony of defeat is in agonizing and sitting there for years on end knowing you never tried. That's agonizing. Losing, so what, try again. You like this guy lost. He didn't feel like a loser because he went all in. It didn't work out. So what? It didn't work out. So what? He was able to heal his leg and his hip. Apparently, he's a very famous and successful artist and painter. So you never know what lies ahead. But you can't. To me, the agony is quitting. That's the agony of defeat. When you just quit and give up and you just do your day-to-day stuff, you come home because you don't want nothing to happen to you. You don't want to take any chances. You don't want to work out because you might hurt yourself. You don't want to go out because you might offend somebody, or you don't want to do this or that because of whatever reasons in your head. That's agony. That's the agony of defeat. So I would say be like Vinko. And even if you think you might fall, fucking do it anyways, Do it anyways. What's the worst that happens? You fall? You break a leg? We got hospitals. We have casts and pain pills and all kinds of stuff. We have remedies for that stuff. So that's my message today. Don't give up. Be like Vinko. It's not agonizing unless you totally give up. All right. I'll see you soon. See you next time.